Recording. Guys, can you see my screen and can you hear me okay? Robert, keep an eye on the questions for me just to let me know.
I don't see anything here. Okay, now we're getting them in.
Okay.
I'm getting a lot of guesses.
Okay. So how many people we got today? I don't think we got that many. I haven't basically marketed this at all. Kind of filling up spaces on the Sunday night webinars for now until I can get the new membership site up. And it was going to be called Commando SES. We're now changing it to Alpha. Everything's been changed over to Alpha. Every single thing, apart from mass media, we'll just keep as it is. And the reason is we kind of got bored with the Commando stuff. And what I want to do is have less products, but bigger products, if you see what I mean. So everything is a complete strategy software. So for example, like we did with the IFTTT, you've got multiple tools within that one thing. So what we're doing, the next tool that we're creating is going to be called Video Sync Alpha. And it's basically a combination of 3 tools, okay, that we've already got. We've got the video link rule tool, we've got the tube link rule tool, we've got the silo tools and stuff like that. So we're going to combine those into one. Yeah, so you've got a complete video syndication, video sharing site syndication tool that does bookmarking. That's kind of like a mini traffic geyser kind of thing. So we're going to create these alpha tools now, and maybe only have 4 or 5 of them, but all very, very, very good quality and all maintained properly with people working full time doing that kind of stuff for us. So anyway, it kind of brought us into the mass media stuff, and we did a webinar with Matt Bush the other day. And I kind of was a little bit not, how can I put it? It just wasn't flowing. The webinar wasn't flowing properly for us. It was just a little bit scatty. It was a little bit all over the place. So I wanted to redo it and in a proper way. And I've been thinking about, how to properly structure this presentation so that we can take this into some kind of affiliate webinar things as well later. So it's kind of important for me that I get this right, and I think it's important for you that you can understand this, because we've been doing a lot of local SEO here in Thailand. Okay, we've been doing it mainly for real estate niche, and it's very competitive. Surprisingly for me, I didn't expect it to be so competitive, but it actually is very, very, very competitive. There's a lot of internet marketing guys over here, and there's a lot of people who actually do know SEO, so it's been kind of interesting, kind of fun, a little bit challenging, but that's a good thing. It's always a good thing when you got challenges in front of you, because it makes you think outside the box and makes you do things nicely and properly as well, and you can come away with a lot of really good information once you've gone through that kind of experience of competing with other people who really don't know what they're doing. Okay, so I've been quite happy with what we've achieved basically in the last sort of 6 to 8 weeks with one particular client who has came in as a high-end client. He saw my YouTube channel. Basically he found out I was in Pattaya anyway, so he saw my YouTube channel. Then he was kind of impressed enough that he wanted to get me involved in what they were doing. So this is a very high-end client, and the people we're dealing with, the people we're competing with, are also kind of high-end. So you can imagine that there's quite a lot of sort of competition for particular kinds of keywords and content, and basically, basically getting into the advanced marketing strategies and the funnels and things that we have to create to maximize the traffic. But what I wanted to do was tell you what's actually been working for us here for what we've been doing. And there's nothing really groundbreaking here, but it's just important to know what is actually working, because if you can understand what's working and you just focus on doing those things right, then you will get the same results as what we're finding here. But it's always going to start with doing your marketing first, getting your marketing elements first, and then doing the traffic stuff. Okay, things like what Matt was selling in his launch a couple of weeks ago. It was called Video Sales Machine, where he was doing the video ad agency. He had the videos there. He had the website there. All those marketing elements were put in place. They were all high converting. They were all professionally done. With all that kind of thing in place, then any marketing for any traffic he's sending to it, there's a good chance it's going to be converting, and that way he's going to maximize the traffic that he's got. But what's going to be really, really big this year, I think, well, it's not going to go away, it's just going to get bigger and bigger, is retargeting. And this is something that we all need to be doing much, much more of. And, there's just so many ways that we can use retargeting. There's so many ways that we can get, so that, huge amount of people that are interested in a particular topic cookied that we can send them, multiple marketing messages, whether it's coming from retargeting ads or getting those people actually onto a list. I mean, there's tools that they just need to click a link and they're already opted in. They're already signed up for a webinar just by clicking a link without having to give permissions. There's all those kind of things that we got, that we can use these days. There's a whole bunch of Facebook tools that are really, really powerful, but we just never seem to find the time to use all the different tools that is there, use all the different tools that we can take advantage of, because we don't actually sit down and do kind of a flowchart of what should be used, when and how. And this is where people get confused, and this is why they keep buying more and more shiny toys, and they just seem to go in this kind of hobby kind of mode where you're buying a huge amount of stuff, but the things are not being used. Okay, so yeah, let's come back to this. So the local stuff, what's really, really working for us now, and I'll try and explain it as nicely as I can, as clearly as I can, without going into too much detail, because I want this to be an overview, otherwise it would be a 2 or 3 hour webinar. Okay, and I don't want that to happen, but I'm going to give you a solution at the end as well, which most of you will already have anyway, I would imagine. Okay, so basically what we find is working really well right now is what I call multi-platform citations. They can be things like profile links from forums, okay, from social profiles as well. Now the forums I've written down here, relevant forums. Actually, I'll give you a link to this document here, Google Doc. Let's put this in here. Yeah. You'll get a link here for relevant forums. It will take you to a guy that will actually do some profile. He will sign up for some forums if you give him the keywords or you give him a location and stuff like that. These are working pretty well. They are working very, very well. And the good thing about them is that you can use the forum traffic for many things. I mean, you can use and combine the forum traffic and the social traffic in different ways by giving stuff away, by giving people information away. And you can do quite a lot of damage with that, because you can have people opting in without them even realizing they're opting in, and you can have them cookied for retargeting as well. So if you're doing local for clients, really should be doing retargeting anyway. It's got to be something that you learn if you're not already doing it, or you hire someone else who can do it, and just to make it as easy as possible. But citations do not need to come from just local business sites. They can come from anywhere. Citations, typically people think about local business directories. That's not incorrect, but anywhere where you're going to put your business name and the address, if you put that kind of information in, the opening hours and stuff like that you've got with your local business listings, then there can be a citation, whether you put that into forum profiles, whether you put that into YouTube descriptions, whether you put that into articles, or whatever you want to do. And if you're using tools like Web2 Commando, or if you're using tools like IFTTT for syndication, you can have all that kind of stuff just being simultaneously automated going out, okay? And it's giving you the video embeds, it's giving you the citations, it's giving you links coming back to your client sites and to your own marketing sort of sites and properties as well, okay? So video marketing as well, I mean, this is huge. Video marketing is never going to go away. It's just going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. But when we combine the video marketing with everything else, like we just did with the IFTTT stuff, where we're combining then the video marketing with high PR Web 2.0 blog networks, I mean, this is really, really powerful stuff, because it's just a set and forget kind of thing. You set it up one time. If you're offering this kind of service for a client, you can actually charge a lot of money for it, even though most of it is actually automated. You can be charging money for finding the accounts that are PR5. You can be making a profit on those. You can be charging money for setting up the PBN kind of stuff. The automation part, they don't need to know that you're using IFTTT Backlink Commando, for example. Okay, all of that kind of stuff can make you a lot of money in the setup. So what I did with this client when he approached me was, I was very, very reluctant at first to do it. I was actually in the middle of doing the second launch for IFTTT Backlink Commando, and we had just finished the Tube Live Commando one, and I was very reluctant. I didn't want to do it, but he was kind of insistent, and so I gave him a very big price for the setup. which was a few $1,000s, and I told him, like, this is what we will do, but the price for setting this up is going to be X amount of dollars. Okay, I was thinking he's either going to buy it or he's going to be scared away. He won't bother me again. And he bought it. I mean, almost immediately he bought it. He just needed to get confirmation, and he came back within about 48 hours, I think, and he had bought it. And so, you know, we gotten into this, and it's kind of, I'm glad that we did it, because I'm getting to do something a little bit different as well. But at the same time, we're getting to create some new things as well while we're here doing this kind of thing. And this is what always intrigues me, when we can create new stuff, or do a combination, or do things that was done before but in a better way than I have been doing it before, because I took that break away from the local stuff, and I managed to come back with sort of fresh eyes, and we've definitely seen the benefits of that. So this is what I want to try and pass on to you as well. Anyway, so yeah, the Web 2.0 blog networks, I mean, they're working really, really, really well here, okay, especially on the local level, because we're using them for multiple things. We're using them for citations, we're using them for video embeds, we're using them for high PR blog networks, we're using them for multiple things at one time, and it's all automated. Once you upload that video, once you favorite a video, it's just off. It goes off and does this crazy syndication stuff. All of that kind of stuff is built in. And on a local level, this gets really powerful. But, you know, if you've got a client that's willing to pay the money, then take the highest, you know, PR that you can get for the Tumblrs and the Twitters and all that kind of stuff. That's what I did. And it's just, you know, it's working really, really well. Okay. The local links that we're using right now, news sites is for comments. So if I go over to, for example, I'll just do a search in here. I'll just put in patio property. I think I showed this before in the webinars. If I type in the keyword patio property, then I click over here to the news, and we can see in here Bangkok Post. They're always good for you know, a comment that nobody else is commenting on. This is quite a high SEO metric kind of domain. Okay, it's a news site, Bangkok Post, but when we come down to the bottom here, you can see you can put in a comment in here. Nobody else is commenting on this, and we keep saying this time and time and time again with these kind of things. Okay, with these kind of news sites. I don't know if it's like that where you live, but you know, for us, we just keep seeing these opportunities keep popping up a lot, where we can go and comment. You see this guy here, he's got his advertising in. We can probably leave a comment there as well. But, you know, we can get some really good, it doesn't matter if it's do follow, no follow, whatever. If nobody else is leaving a comment now, well, what we can do is if we leave an intelligent comment, then we can get some information that other people are likely to find and pick up, and maybe cause a little bit of intrigue to go and find out more. Okay, so the news sites is giving us a great opportunities for the real estate stuff, but we're actually doing this in a different way, which I can't really reveal right now, because we're doing it in a way that we're targeting competitors more than just the news kind of thing. Maybe I can reveal that in a few weeks or something. The other thing that we're doing is giveaways. Okay, this is more for my stuff than for the real estate client. This is for me, where I'm giving away. Basically, it's a landing page creator. Let me see if I can find it in here. Just go to more customers. Some of you might have even bought this a couple of years ago or a year ago when we did the webinar with Ken Anderson. So we can come in here and go into realtors, for example, and you can see in here that I can go and create I can create a real estate page really fast in here. So what I'm doing is I'm giving these away. I'm going to give us a subdirectory. I'm going to call it Pattaya Property Portal 2 or something like that. That's going to be the subdomain. And I can put in here the actual area brought to you by. I'll put to something like that, Kiss Internet Marketing or Pattaya Property Portal, or we've actually got a property portal that's been sat there. It hasn't got one property on it except for the demo theme stuff. I'm finding it hard to get local staff here that understand English enough to be able to do SEO stuff for me. So primary email, so I'll just put anything in here for now. And then we can put in the area, so I can put in here Central. Just copy this. Paste. And when I'm showing this to clients or potential clients, they're blown away by this. And basically what we're doing then is we're able to give these out, and we're getting a link when they're making these sites. We're putting links in there that's coming back to us into our sort of marketing areas that we want to get linked to. So it can be to YouTube channels, it can be to fan pages, anywhere that can take multiple links. We're not sending it direct to a self-hosted sort of WordPress domain because the amount of links that this is likely to produce is going to be very, very high. So what we do is we send it to things like fan pages and YouTube channels and things like that. Okay, and I can just put in here other, for example. So then I can create the page, and it basically took 2 seconds to go and do that. And then when I go and click on this, you can see the page has been created. Okay, so when somebody comes, like a customer comes, they can say, okay, I'm interested in this location and this location, and they click on the continue, and then we ask them the price, we ask them how many bathrooms and bedrooms and this kind of stuff. Now this is where it gets interesting here, is when you plan on moving, and are they currently working with another realtor? If they say no, and they've got the price range, what we're looking for, if they're looking to move quickly and they're not working with the realtor, what happens then when they click on that is it gets sent to us by email as a high priority lead. We actually we separate them from high priority to low priority. So you can imagine how easy this is for us to give away to these realtors here, to the real estate agents here in Patia, to be able to do this. And that way it's giving us multiple links coming in as well. Okay, so by doing things like that, by thinking outside the box, things that you can give away, then you're able to get those links. But you've got to be careful if you're going to have mass linking going on, because these guys are probably likely to go and do, you know, dozens of these little landing pages, because it's so easy to do. Even for non-techie people, they're really easy for them to do. Then you want to make sure that those links are going to go somewhere where it can actually absorb the links without penalizing you in any way. Okay, and the other thing that's working really well is local ad sites, when you're getting links from places like Gumtree and Craigslist. Gumtree if you're in the UK, Craigslist if you're in USA. We have a Craigslist here, and we've got some local ones here as well. The next thing is the local pages, the Google places. Now what I did is I actually got somebody on Fiverr to go and do this. I don't really want to be bothered with this kind of stuff. So we get the pages done. We wait for the postcard to get it confirmed, and then everything's done for us. I think I paid $26 for this guy with all the updates and stuff like that. There's a link there for him to do it. He knows what he's doing. He's actually pretty good. And you can get other people that will create some maps, Google Maps, which is kind of goes hand in hand with the places. But it just gives you that little bit additional sort of local links and stuff like that. And then the local business pages stuff, well, you can just go and hit on the Fiverr one here, and basically you can find a bunch of people that will do things like the citations and things for you. You can find them by country. I just did it by the search in here. So this one will do 40 for Australia. One of these, I can't remember which one, I basically said to him, well, you know, I'm in Thailand, I need more than 10 or 15. So I think what they did is they checked on White Spark. I think this is what they must have done. They must have checked on White Spark. They probably checked to see the top ranking listings in the Google local business sort of rankings, and they probably found out where they're getting their citations from. I think that's what they must have done, because he came back to me about an hour later and said, okay, I've got about 80. And basically I just paid for that. I think I paid $35. So he's doing that right now. And all of that kind of stuff gets done for me. I don't need to think about it. And don't forget that we're reselling this kind of thing. So if it's costing me $35, it's not hard for me to go and say to a client, you know, that's $350. You know, there's a lot of work involved in it. So, you know, even if I'm making a profit, 9 times the profit, it doesn't matter. I'm doing it to make money. I'm in business to make money. So as far as those local clients are concerned, I want to make as much as I can possibly do, within reason of understanding and knowing that they're getting good value. I'm not trying to rip them off. I feel good about what I give them for that particular price, okay? So that way, everything is kind of hunky-dory. The other thing that's really major here is press releases. Anywhere will be actually press releases. Now, I haven't really got into the press releases properly just yet because we're still setting one or two of these guys up. When we do start these, though, there's other things that I'm going to explain in the next slide that will be happening automatically and manually as well. But press releases we know are very, very good. And we did some clippings reports over the last few days. Robert did some clippings reports from mass media. We're getting now about 170 sites whenever we're doing the distribution for every single press release. Now, this gets better because when you see the manual SEO stuff that we're doing with it, then it just starts to blow your mind because it's much, much more than a press release service now. It's gone well beyond that now. Hi, come. Sorry, my dog trying to get out the door there. Okay, next thing I've got here is optimized social signals. Let's see if anybody can guess what I mean by optimized social signals. You got any idea what I mean? Let's see if you can guess. Let's see, any comments there, Robert?
Does anybody have any comments they'd like to add about that, guessing the definition of an optimized social signal? Sandra says branded. Carrie Gibson says Facebook optimized. Lynn Ferrara says branded for keywords, using local sites for backlinks. David O'Neill is saying meta tag, open graph. Anthony Sarno is saying sharing from related industry accounts. Dan Klutz is saying.
Oh. You're all right. Everyone is pretty much right. Basically what we're doing with the social signals is we have, basically we've got a paragraph when we're doing a social signal. It's like a bookmark in a way. So we want to get those keywords in there, of course, and get the branding and get the keywords and get the local sort of stuff in there as well. But what is really, really good to be able to get is, what I mean by the optimized social signals here, is to get some reshares from people in your local area. And again, it's coming down to a giveaway, it's coming down to competitions, it's coming down to that kind of thing, where we're trying to maximize the traffic in a way that makes complete sense for us on an optimization level for SEO and for the traffic that it's likely to influence. So, for example, if we did a giveaway here in Pattaya, for example, to give something that we had a lot of people that was willing to do the social shares who lived here in Pattaya, then the people seeing them sharing that social signal, whether they're doing a Facebook like, a tweet or retweet or whatever, then it's going to be local people as well. So we're just expanding out within the local area that way. Okay, that's basically what we're talking about. But none of those answers were wrong. But what we're thinking about here is trying to optimize the traffic sort of influence from people that would see it from the optimized social signals. So that's the kind of direction we're getting into right now with this. And I'm going to play around with that quite a lot because I've got some good ideas for that. So we're moving away just from, just the SEO stuff and the social SEO stuff. We're actually thinking about traffic optimization as well, which is pretty neat. Okay. Of course, with things like we can do the high semantic density articles and descriptions and things like that. And I did a demo of that on the webinar we did with Matt Bush the other day. Where basically, I used article optimization commando, which we give away with the mass media SEO. And I showed the people there how we can take the grouped keywords, the closely grouped keywords, or the closest group keywords to a particular seed keyword, and we just basically stuff those keywords into an article. And we're not thinking about the article length, we're thinking about the density of all those words combined together to make it really high density. And we're finding this works really, really well as well. Okay. And one of the main things, though, is not to lose factor on the CTR factor, the click-through rate factor. It's kind of been proven now that click-through rate is a major, major Google algorithm thing that they take into consideration. Okay, if it's like the search and click, the search and click tool that we did. That I think it was Ray the Video guy who came out with that strategy first that he had heard from somewhere else. We had automated it, working with him to make sure we got it right. Then we added into that the video viewer as well. And basically what we're doing then is if somebody's searching for a particular keyword phrase and they find your video or your piece of content and they're clicking through on that, then Google will see, well, this one keeps getting clicked, so this one must be most relevant or very relevant, whereas the other ones who are not getting clicked so much will drop down, okay? So this is basically the CTR factor. And, you know, even, I think it was Mozo Search Engine Line, I can't remember, somebody did a case study on it recently, and they basically showed that the CTR factor is a major ranking factor now. And so it's something I'm kind of pleased about, because it's making SEOs think more about marketing rather than just ranking. Okay, so we're not going to, hopefully we're going to see less of those kind of headlines like London cosmetic dentist with a hyphen and London cosmetic dentist again, or the opposite way around, and those kind of silly headlines that we used to see just where people were trying to stuff the keywords into the title kind of thing. What we want to do now is think about compelling headlines and, you know, give people the reason to click through, and that will make a huge difference to our rankings long term if we're able to pull that off in a decent sort of way. As far as the conversion rate, I guess I'm trying to get to. I don't know if I can put it into a percentage, what would be acceptable. You know, if people landed on first page of Google, would it be acceptable to get a 1 or 2% click-through rate? I don't know. I've got no idea, but we want to make it as optimized as we possibly can to either force the click, create curiosity that forces the click, put scarcity that forces the click, give a promise to a solution that forces a click, that kind of thing. And then we're starting to think like marketers, we're starting to think about maximizing traffic as well as the SEO stuff, okay? Because it's all hand in hand now. There's no separating it now. It's absolutely not, no way at all. And even the paid traffic, I'm starting to see everything in the one light now, because I don't see how we can take away retargeting from what we do as far as the optimization. It's got to be a part of optimization now. It's just, you know, it's too easy to do. It's too stupid not to do it, and it doesn't cost a lot of money. It's crazy not to do it. So, you know, it's something that we've got to be doing. Let's see if we got any questions right now, Robert. I'll take a quick drink. We'll save you there. Okay, I'll carry on now.
Sorry, I'm here now. I had myself muted.
Okay.
I have a question. Can you still get real estate video on page 1 of Google for a term like a local city, rentals, or real estate, or is that a thing of the past?
Why would you think it's a thing of the past? It's always coming down to relevancy and the quality of your backlinks and the quality of your on-page sort of optimization, and then you've got to take into consideration the factors like the click-through and stuff like that as well. I never did sort of buy into the theory that there's particular keywords that the videos won't rank. I still don't. I just find that kind of hard to get my head around. It comes down to relevancy, what Google thinks is the best content for that particular keyword phrase that someone is searching for. Of course, the more long tail you go, the better chance of two things. First of all, ranking, and secondly, getting really targeted kind of customers or people searching. Okay, the more long tail you go, somebody's really specifically looking for something that maybe not all your competitors are ranking, just the clever ones are trying to rank for. There might only be 3 of you trying to rank for that, so it's easy to get in the first page. It's not all about those big high traffic keywords. It's not all about those kind of generic terms that are really competitive. It's often about the long tail. And so, you know, I don't think there's keywords that you know, you just can't get a video ranking for. But, you know, at the end of the day, when I'm doing video, I'm doing video like a first tier. There's always a link in the video to go somewhere else, landing page, blog, tutorial, something like that. So that's really what you want to be ranking anyway, not just the video. The video is there to help you, to nudge the other stuff along. It's just an easy medium to be able to syndicate. It's an easy medium to optimize. Everything about video is just so easy. I mean, even with the YouTube descriptions, the way we can write them, we can actually steal keyword stuff from 2015. It's crazy stuff. So it's a very, very handy medium for us to use, but it doesn't have to be the end or this sort of landing page in itself.
Okay, Justin is also asking, can we hit those citation sites with a nominal amount of high PR links and not get hurt by that?
If you want to hit the citation sites after you put your citations with the links that are going to your local pages or to your local business page, Google Places page, I'm guessing that's what he means. I would rather, you could do that, you probably could do that. It depends on the site. I mean, it's like, you know, how much link velocity can YouTube and Facebook take, kind of thing. It's going to depend on the site very much as well. So if it's like Yellow Pages and stuff like that, then probably it could take a lot of hits. But why would you need to do that when it can be just as good to put fewer links but higher quality links to the same page? It's not going to take you any more work, because by the time you set up things like GSA search engine ranking, for example, you know, it just takes a long time. Then you've got to keep replenishing those link lists and things like that. You could easily just do a few very, very good bookmarks. You could do some, you know, local citations, even to your citation pages. You can be doing those via forum profiles. You could be doing those via YouTube descriptions. You could be doing those via different things, different mediums. That it doesn't need to be high velocity kind of links happening.
It looks like that's all the questions for now, Tony.
All right. So what I wanted to do is explain to people about mass media SEO, because what we're doing with this now, I'm actually very, very, very excited about, because this is taking things a lot further than what I'd initially realized we could possibly do, or even thought about, you know, when we first took mass media. We've probably got a lot of people here who are still mass media SEO customers. Let us know how many. See if you can figure out a percentage, Robert, from the replies. How many people are mass media?
Can everybody please put a yes in the chat box if you're a mass media SEO customer? Okay, we immediately got several dozen in here.
Yeah.
So there are quite a few mass media SEO customers in this group.
Super. Okay, because this is not going to cost you anything more. This is just the direction we're taking this. And what I've just covered here, you're going to find that we're actually building a lot of this in here. I mean, really, we're building a lot of this in here, because what we've got right now is we've got a full-time virtual assistant. I'm looking for one more, still looking for one more. And basically their job is going to be to optimize. And that's all they're going to be doing, just SEO stuff, optimization stuff, traffic optimization as well, social signals optimization and things like that as well. Okay, so what we got if we're doing mass media SEO, what we do if you have a press release, first of all, you're going to have citations there, because in any press release service, you're going to have citations, because you have to put your business details in there anyway. Okay, if it's a press release, they want to know the contact details, etc. Okay, so you're going to have some kind of form of citations in there. Okay, but this goes further with mass media as well, because we are doing the high PR Web 2.0 blog networks. We're building these out right now, okay, for the YouTube channel, and then we're going to build another one out for the news site. Okay, right now we're not going to build into the news site, because we're looking for a Google News approved news site that we can purchase, and therefore, once we got that, we can set this one up properly. But for the video stuff, we're working on this right now, so there's other kinds of citations happening here as well. Okay, so that's happening with the video embeds, it's happening with citations, it's happening with the PBN sort of side of the networks, okay, of the Web 2.0 blog networks, because we will be using the high PR Tumblrs and Twitters and things like that as well. Okay, with the video marketing, if you submitted a video with mass media, basically what we're doing, our assistant H, what she's doing is she's downloading that video, she's uploading it into Mass Media SEO YouTube channel, and then it's going through that syndication stuff for this. So it's getting the citations from here, it's getting the Web 2.0 PBN stuff. Okay, and of course press releases with what was it, 173 sites we had last time, Robert?
That's right. 173 on the last clipping report I looked at.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
So
as high as 177.
okay. Well, anything over 150, I think, is pretty good for the price range that we got. Okay, and plus all these other bits that we're adding in there. Okay, so you're getting those high referral domains from these 173 sites, which is good for the SEO thing, the SEO side of stuff. Okay, now with that, we're also building in social signals. We're doing this via plugins and third-party plugins as well, not just the Social Traffic Commander one, but third-party plugins as well for social signals, so that we can get some reshares and things like that. Okay, now with the social bookmark, she's using Social Bookmark Commander. Is she using it to the news site, or is she using it to the video? Do you know?
Like she's using it to the news site.
To the news site. Okay, so we can build it into the video as well. Okay, so all of this is happening at the same time as you're doing press releases. Okay, and what we can do a bit later, once we've got that second person, is we can do these high semantic density articles and descriptions for the YouTube descriptions, which is, I really want to get this in there as well. So basically we'll just take a bunch of keywords that Google gave us, and we will be making like hashtag and kind of things, as well as taking your press release description and sticking it in there. We'll also put in those kind of keywords as hashtags. Now this won't affect you, because this is going to be linking back to the press release itself, okay? And this is going to be linking back where it's linking to our properties and not going to affect your sort of money sites, if you see what I mean. That's the way we're doing this. It's the only way that we can do this and be 100% guaranteed to be really, really safe. And, you know, the only people we would damage, if anything would ever go wrong, would be ourselves. Okay, and also with the Web 2.0 stuff, all we ever have to do is just change the links. If I've got a 10 deep sort of, I've got 10 Tumblrs, 10 Twitters, I've got 10 bloggers and 10 whatever, for, you know, 10 different IFTTT accounts, it's not that hard for us to go and change things, because we're not working with thousands and thousands and thousands of sites that way. What we are doing is we're working with just, you know, 10 areas where it really, really matters, because everything is coming back into the Tumblr anyway, or the blogger, depending on which strategy we use. Sometimes we use the blogger strategy, sometimes we use the Tumblr strategy, but we will always have a record of that. If something goes wrong, we can see and we can change it. It's just a matter of changing 10 blogger accounts or 10 Tumblr accounts instead of hundreds or thousands. Okay, so all of that's happening as well. Now what we're looking at as well is the local PBNs, and this is definitely going to happen. This is absolutely definitely going to happen for mass media, and the way we're looking at this is a little bit unusual too. I kind of explained it to Robert the other day, and I don't want to go into detail about it, but it's got a twist. It's got a very, very significant twist in there, and it will work, and it will work really, really well, but I just cannot tell you exactly what it is. But we are buying a whole bunch of local, not local, we are buying a whole bunch of domains that will fit into the categories that we have within our news sites, okay? And that way we can have some PBNs being built, very, very specific PBNs being built, and that way we can keep adding more automation. Everything will be in automation, but we can keep adding more and more power into it, okay? And plus you've got all those video beds and syndication happening as well with this kind of stuff. So it's happening with some press release sites, it's happening with the networks and stuff like that. And when we've got Video Send Alpha done, then once we've got that extra SEO person working with us, they will use that as well. So all of that is happening, and is going to be happening, or is happening right now with the mass media. Okay, so it doesn't cost you any more money. It's just the direction I wanted to take it, so that we can really maximize what we got here. So it's much, much more now than a press release service. Now, the reason I wanted to bring this up when I'm talking about local is because you can resell this. You can resell this, and you can make a hell of a profit by doing that. Okay, because you don't need to set up the blog networks. You don't need to go and set up, worry about the social signals and all that kind of stuff if we're doing it for you. Okay, and you've got a set price that you're paying for your press releases. You've got that set price that will never change as long as you remain a member at that price. That way you can sell, you can upsell that. You can make a huge profit on this kind of stuff, guys. You can make a massive, massive profit on this. Let's see if we got any questions, Robert. Okay. Let's put a link in here as well for people who haven't got mass media. In here. You there, Robert? I think we lost him there. Okay. So we got a link as well, which I can give to people.
I've got to remember to turn my mute.
Okay.
Okay, Sandra Walsh is asking if you can clarify exactly what it is you've been talking about the last few minutes. She wants to know if you're discussing the mass media SEO course. And I should tell you, Sandy, that it's not a course. We're a press release service. Tony is really just describing what it is we do as far as SEO for each and every press release, something that nobody else is doing. And we're going into quite some depth. I've seen a lot of page 1 rankings for the videos we put on our channel that aren't ranking on our client's channel, but they're ranking on our channel. I've seen a lot of page 1 right at the top. So we know it's working well. Let me see. What's the best way? What's that, Tony?
No, just to explain to you, it's not a course. This is what we're actually building into mass media. We're actually doing this kind of stuff for you. Every press release that you submit, I think, give us another four weeks. All of this, absolutely all of this will be being done. Okay, I just need that extra SEO person, and all of this will absolutely will be being done. Most of it is being done. The ones I've got bolded here are actually happening right now. Okay, what's not happening right now is the local PBNs and the high semantic density and descriptions for YouTube. Okay, but the rest of it is actually happening right now. Okay, the ones that are bolded. So that is, you submit a press release and we are taking care of all that other stuff. It's not a course. You don't need to learn anything. You just need to know what's happening. The reason I mentioned it is because I want you to resell it. I want you to go and make a profit on it. If you've got a 5-pack of mass media SEO press releases that have cost you, I don't know how much you might have paid for it. I know in the launches we charged as low as $37. You could be charging even $37 each for those and you still be giving massive, massive, massive value. Okay, you could be charging $67 each for those and you'd be giving massive value. Okay, well, that's the reason I'm bringing it up and I'm talking about local, because I want you to realize what you got there. Okay, but the price has gone up for mass media SEO now because we've added in extra distribution, so anybody who buys now is going to pay a little bit extra. But I think we still got a link, Robert, that was for a special offer. Do you have that link, or could you get a hold of that link maybe?
Yes, let me see if I can find that.
So anybody who's not got that, then we can let you get in at the lowest possible price if you want to.
Let me see if this is it. Okay, yes, we are running a very special offer, I should tell you. I have put our link in a few minutes ago, so...
it just says mass media SEO.
Right, okay, here's the special offer link.
Yeah, the special offer was it 12 for 67, wasn't it? I think we're up to now.
12 for 67 a month. There is included on that link for 5 for 37 a month, which is what most people are paying now already. But
cool.
They've got both offers on that. Anyway, the truly special offer is 12 for $67 a month. Right now, the normal link is 10, so you can get 12.
Yeah, and this is a fresh clipping report. This is all up to date. Now we had when we bought Mass Media SEO, we inherited the sales page, and it took us a while. It did take us several months before we were happy with the distribution that we changed over to something that is very, very, very accurate now. And you can actually click here to get a clipping report. And I think we should update the clipping report every month in here, Robert. Just get Jeff to change out over and put a fresh one every single month, so that we've always got up to date.
We'll do that.
Yeah. And you can see some examples of rankings. I can probably better design that at the bottom there, but it gives people a better idea of what we can actually do with this. So I'm just going to insert a link in here, and it's going to be that link you just gave me on top of that one that's there. It's very clever.
Len Ferrara is asking if the clipping report can be white labeled. You can take the links out of the clipping report and put them in your own PDF and put your own label on it. You can definitely do that, Len. Sandra Walsh is asking, is this something that can be used for non-English speaking countries? We don't advertise that we have international distribution, but we have a gentleman in Norway who has been a client since the beginning who is routinely getting page 1 rankings with mass media SEO press releases in Oslo, Norway. So yes, it is working for him. Do we have an example of a good press release for a local business? Mark, go to news.massmediaseo.com. It's news.massmediaseo.com, and you can peruse our press releases. And there are local press releases among everything that we have listed there. So you can go ahead and just go to that site and see what we've had published recently. Len Ferrara is asking, what's the best way to get press releases, questions about press releases answered? A support ticket or the Facebook page? Len, there's in your members area, directly you can send a support request which comes to me, and I will answer any questions that you have. If you'd like to ask questions in the Facebook group, you can definitely do that. There are a lot of people there who will help you. Mark Peters is saying, for someone who is time poor, would you suggest using mass media SEO before using the other tools? What would you say about that, Tony?
If you're doing local marketing, it makes perfect sense. It really does make perfect sense. But even if you haven't got a huge amount of time, some of those tools are really designed just to make things so much easier for you anyway. You know, the IFTTT stuff, you set it up one time. It's just a matter of spending that 1 hour that you need to you know, set up 2 or 3 of those, and you're fine, you're good to go. It's always a good thing if you get really stuck to be able to get things done because of time, to maybe talk to other people in the Facebook groups and see if somebody will do some kind of setup service for you, or you can, you know, share the cost of a virtual assistant or something like that. There's always somebody, you know, willing to make a few extra dollars for setting up that kind of service as well. We saw that, you know, we saw that multiple times in the Facebook groups in the past, where people have been willing to set up some kind of service for people that didn't have the time to use the tools that they were purchasing.
Okay, Anthony is asking, what is the retail pricing for press releases? That's pretty much up to you, Anthony. I've written a lot of press releases for people the last few years, and quite often I could get $300 for what I was doing, and I get a customer now and then. Right? If I charge less, I get more customers. Anthony was talking earlier about $67, and you're still making a profit. It depends on how much work you put into it, but if you're willing to charge $67, you probably sell more than you would if you were charging $300. So it just depends on you and what your marketing ability is and how much time you want to spend with it. Carlos is asking, how many citations can you submit at one time?
How many citations when you're doing the local marketing? Well, basically you want to get the citations that your competitors are using, which you can do if you're using Whitespark, for example. And if you go and look for Whitespark to see their citations, then you can make a list and just get someone either, you know, from Odesk or something to go and do those for you. If you want to get the guy on Fiverr, then let him do that for you, and he will be able to find out. Let me see if I can find this guy actually while I'm here. If I go into my orders, go into orders, I'm sure I can find this guy. I just gave him the order this morning. So I got active. Yeah, this guy here. Yeah, $73.50 I paid him. So that's for two businesses. I gave him that for this morning. He will tell you how many he can get. Okay, so I don't know what country you're in, but if you're in America, you can get a lot more than what I can. I'll put that link in there for the guy on Fiverr. Okay, and I'll also put him into this as well. So citations.
Okay, Carlos has another question about that. How often would you make a press release for a local business? Is once a week good? Once a month? What do you think about that, Tony?
I would do it about once a week. If you've got a news story, then you just go ahead and do it. As long as, if you're going to be linking back to your money site, just make sure you're always deep linking. Create a blog post around it, but don't use the exact same content on the blog post. Or if you want to use the exact same content on your blog post, make it no index your blog post, okay? But make it do follow. Okay, that way you're not going to have the duplicate content. It's just easier if you just do a summary of your blog post as of your press release as a blog post, sorry, just with the details that maybe they needed to follow up on, and have the press release linking to that blog post. So you're deep linking to a different page every time or a different post every time. That way you're not just linking to the same post every single time. Okay, let me just put this insert link in here. So in here I'll put the link to that guy who's doing. He found 80 for me, 80 for Thailand, so I gave him for 2 businesses. You could see that cost $73 for 2 businesses, which is kind of handy.
Okay, which video format would allow you to change the properties, metadata to target for local keywords?
MP4.
Geocard.
MP4. It's got to be MP4, yeah. And if you're doing it with the image, if you're going to do thumbnails, use JPEG, and you can do the same thing with your video thumbnails as well, okay? So, for example, when I'm doing my thumbnails, I've always got, this is Facebook ad engine, just put in here. It always gives me in a PNG file, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, because then I've got to go and try and change it over to JPEG, which I just do quickly using Paint. So what I do is I've always got these ready. I've got all the sizes ready. So every time I do a new video, basically I can just choose the nearest counter template that I've got here. The size is always the same whenever I use this. And it's just a matter of me going in here and changing some part of the text, for example. And so this one is about local SEOs for the video that we did the other day, for example, the webinar replay. So I've always got the same size and stuff like that, but when I save that from here, it's always a PNG. Then I go and open it in Paint, and then I save it as a JPEG. Once I save that as a JPEG, before I put that into YouTube and before I put it into the blog post, I have that well optimized, have it well optimized for the keywords. Okay, so when you put that into YouTube, it's going to have your local keywords, it's going to have your local branding and things like that as well, ideally.
Have you used a press release to point to least lead gen pages? If so, what angle do you use?
Press release to lead gen pages, we've gone so far beyond that now. We've gone so far beyond that now. I actually bought a program last night. It's very, very similar to lead pages. You're all familiar with lead pages, yeah? Lead pages have something called lead links. Okay, and basically you click on the link and you're registered for GoToWebinar. You're on somebody's email list if you click on that damn link. Okay, they've got them in different formats. You can get them where there's no opt-in needed. It's just there's no approval needed. You're just automatically opted in. You've got things for Facebook like Facebook Auto Connect now that you can get people to give you permissions to send them notifications on Facebook. You've got the two-step kind of notification that you get from lead boxes that you get from lead pages as well. And basically, you know, you can click a link that it's given you, and that link will be opening up even within YouTube descriptions. It will open up a box because that's what the link is doing. Okay, there's so many. We've gone so beyond now just the normal landing pages that we don't even need the landing pages so much anymore. It's incredible. I bought something last night called Smart Links. I think I paid $197. It's just incredible, this tool, Smart Links. I think this is it. Let me just see. It's kind of similar to what lead pages do with the lead links, just a little bit more advanced. And you can put links everywhere. Just you can have these pop-up boxes, opt-in boxes everywhere, where you're just getting people to give you your email. But to go back to your question, I did rank landing pages quite often in the past. In fact, we did one for a very, very, very competitive keyword not that long ago, and it was basically done by doing video marketing links to that particular landing page. There was some other stuff being done as well, but it was mainly video marketing, if I remember correctly. And I think at the time we were doing things like the video link wheels So that would have been coming from YouTube and video sharing sites. Of course, we're taking it a lot further now because we're doing the IFTTT stuff and a lot more depth and a lot more maturity than what we ever did. So, you know, there's all that happening in the background on autopilot as well. So all of that kind of stuff will work really, really well.
Okay, do you geotag the thumbnail for a local biz video?
Yeah, you should do. Why not? Why not?
I do. I even do that in the annotations, or
Yeah,
in the
yeah. Why not?
not the annotations, but the one that's for deaf people. What do you call it? Can't remember.
Oh yeah, yeah. The closed captions.
Subtitles, closed captions.
Yeah,
right there, you go.
You can do. Let me see. Where's that? Keywords ignition. Keyword. Yeah, this is the one from Lisa Allen. It's got local places spinner in here, so you can put in here your cities in here. For example, I can put in like New York. I'll just see if some people may already have this, and you can put near target city, or you can choose by sort of miles. You can do that and do the search for 50 miles. Let's just see why is it not working in here. Near target city. Something got stuck here. Here we go. So you can tell it how many you want, how many miles, and it will just expand out. It actually goes and finds those locations for you. And what you can do then is with this kind of thing is you can put all of these cities inside your keyword section of your thumbnails. Okay, so you can just take all of that. You can dedupe it first, get rid of duplicates first, and you can even make it go the opposite way around. You can put the city first as well if you want to, keyword first. And this way is a really easy way to do it. I like this tool just for that particular one thing, that you can get those local things without having to go and search for them. And it will even reverse it. Now, those are perfect to use for your keywords, for the tags, for your MP4, for your both your MP4 and your JPEG thumbnails.
Okay, Carlos is asking, what would you use to push your page from the bottom of the first page to the top of the first page?
It's what I call nudging. You nudge it, you don't blast it, you nudge it. What you do for nudging it, you talk about high quality links, okay? High quality links meaning relevant links from high authority sort of places. The best kind of links you can get is guest blogging kind of links, okay? Next to guest blogging, you're talking about relevant sites that have got some authority, that have got real traffic. They're not PBN sites. PBNs are way, 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 way down on the list of things that we really care about, okay? Let me go and find a blog post. I've got a blog post specifically about that with, in order, the importance of the links, okay? I'm going to give that to you now. It's on my blog. It's a 9 top tier 1 linking. You're using those and you're doing them slowly. You're not doing them fast. You're doing high quality links. They will cost you more money for those particular links, but you do them one time, you wait and you see the results, and then you can just nudge, nudge, nudge. You don't do anything crazy at that point, okay? Just see. Where's that post? Okay, let's see if there's any other questions while I'm looking for this. Here we go.
Okay, Carlos says, thank you. Justin is saying, I saw the Facebook ad engine you had up a little bit earlier. What is that, and do you like it?
Oh, I love it. I just got used to it. I'm sure there's other tools that you can use. I just got used to this one. I just have everything set up in here just nicely. I got used to it, and I set everything up really easily, really nicely. And you can see here, you can just add in text blocks and images and stuff like that. But if I
use that for all your graphics?
Yeah, kind of. I bought Usign, and I've got YouTube graph editors and all that kind of stuff. But I keep coming back to this. You can see some of those banners that are on my site, for example. They came from here. And it's just very, very easy to use. I think I paid about $97 for this one.
Okay, Brian is asking, if you include a properly formatted ticker symbol for relevant content in the press release, does it increase pickup and syndication?
Ticker?
I don't even know what that is.
I think he means just like moving subtitles that you see on the TV news kind of things. I don't know if that's what you mean. Pretty cool idea, actually, if we put it on the website. If we had a plugin that did that and put it on the website, it'd be pretty cool.
I'd like to see one, yes.
Yeah. if that's what he means. I think that's what he means.
Brian, can you clarify what it is you're asking? A ticker symbol for a public corporation.
Okay, I'm still not clear about that. Maybe if you can send something through, or talk to Robert on the Facebook and explain it, we'll know something more about it. I really don't know what it means.
I'm not sure either. He's asking now, how would you index a flash ticker symbol? But I have never used that.
I first need to understand what is a flash ticker symbol, because I really don't know right now.
John B. is saying that a ticker symbol is like using the letter C or click for a Citibank, or Google is GOOG.
Okay. I don't know, this is an image then, isn't it? And you just do some image optimization, I guess. But you know, at the end of the day, there's multiple things that we can do. There's a lot of stuff in the local that we didn't even cover today, things like the document sharing sites and stuff like that, which will work. I know will work really, really well. We've covered things when we were building up to the YouTube live events launch. The launch we did, was it called Tube Live Commando? I think we ended up calling it. We did a whole bunch of videos, like top 10 internal YouTube tips and tricks and stuff like that, and there was a whole bunch of stuff in there that you can do that we showed you how to do really quickly, really easily, that would all work very, very well for local as well. I'm just telling you what's working for us, the stuff that we covered today, and what's been working for us in Pattaya. And you know, I've not been doing anything crazy at all. You can see that it's just common sense stuff, but doing it nicely. But there's always other things you can do. Now, if I'm in a very, very competitive market and somebody's kind of fighting back with me for their rankings, which I fully expect, especially from people that's got a budget, then I'm not going to do, I don't need to do more of the same thing. What I'm likely to do is more variety, yeah, and the variety is always going to be things that, you know, that just hasn't been done with the audio, with the, as long as they're relevant, they come from high authority kind of things. And it's the stuff that you do with it as well. It's not just getting audio links. You want to get interactivity. This is something a lot of people miss out on, the interactivity. Or they try and buy it, and they try and buy it in the wrong way because they're buying too much of it too fast. Things like video views. They're going to get 5,000 views in 24 hours for a keyword that gets 200 searches a month. Crazy things like that. What you want to do is have real interactivity that you can buy. You can buy, or you can, you know, encourage people to do stuff. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that we can use.
Okay, John is asking, if you already dominate local and you want to expand to national, should you target other cities or keep sending backlinks to the money site?
It would depend on the business that you're trying to, if you did it for your own business and you wanted to expand out, then there's multiple ways of doing that. But I would probably start off with another site and, you know, keep building that one up with links that are more national based, and maybe build out some sort of smaller ones, regional, but not crazy amounts of them. I don't think you need crazy amounts of them. I would go for north, south, east, west or something like that, because there's less work to do. The less of them that you have, the less work you have to do.
Okay, David Triplett is asking, how do you make sure the website gets the traffic and not the press release?
Well, the press release is always going to get traffic anyway, and it's just how you get people to go from the press release to your website depends on how you write your press release. You have to give them an incentive to go there. You need to make it compelling enough. You need to give them a reason to go there, whether it's a scarcity, whether it's a curiosity, or whatever it might be. You want to put that in there. You've got to build that in there.
I know people that are expert at that,
yeah,
and they write a press release every other day or so with different keywords, so they're somewhere else in the search engines, and they're getting massive amount of traffic to their site from those press releases, because they're just doing it every other day or so. So they're really spreading themselves out all over the net. Okay, was the site link or the link to Smart Links that allows you to get immediate opt-ins? Justice thinks that's really sharp.
Yeah, Smart Links. I bought it last night. It's going to be in my email. I really don't want to open my email. I can't remember if it's smartlinks.com or smartlinks.net. Smartlinks, let me see if I can find it in the LastPass tools.
David is adding, so you're saying that the press release has the ranking and not the website?
Smartleads.com. Well, don't forget that the press release, when you write it and you send it for mass media, we're distributing it to 170 odd sites. That's referral links coming from. Like if I go and do Moz, for example, like here, if I go and click on the Moz here, and you're going to see an example of what I mean by this. When it's going to give me the page authority and domain authority and stuff like that, I can click through and I can go through to Open Site Explorer. Actually, it's going to be easier to go to Open Site Explorer just direct. And what they're going to tell me is how many links I've got and how many domains those links are coming from. Okay, so that's 170 links immediately for each one of your press releases. So if that press release goes in 170 different places and it's got a link coming back to your blog post, for example, to your site, then that's 170 referral domains. That's 170 links, high authority links coming back. You know, in theory, you should always have your, wherever your money site is, wherever you're linking to, should always be ranking higher. But, you know, sometimes with these press release sites, as they start doing more and more content daily and start building up their own authority, they will outrank. We saw that many times before with Newswire. I mean, they've got a very, very, very powerful news site of their own, and it creates a lot of traffic in its own right. So it can work there and benefit as well with the amount of traffic that they can get just from ranking for very, very competitive keywords really quickly. I'll just see if I put in here something. What was the name of that one? It's called smartleads.com, not smartlinks. I bought this one last night. I've hardly used it yet. I've just gone through the training videos, but I put the link in here. You can watch what they're doing, or you can read the information on that page. That's probably not the best example here. I can put in here something like CNN.com, for example. What did I do wrong now? Okay, so you can see here it tells you how many domains is linking. Okay, so there's not just the amount of links, it's how many domains. And this is what you're getting with press releases, which a lot of people overlook. Because when you're getting those 150, 170 or whatever links coming from every single press release, then that's referral domains. They don't always have to be do follow and no follow. You don't have to worry about that because you're sending it out for a perfectly legitimate reason, where it's a news story. So anything that could be a news story is, you know, basically a news story. You can use it. Actually, I downloaded something yesterday. It's about press releases. It's about 100 ways that you can use a press release. Let's see if I can find it in here. Yeah. Just take this and I'll put this into Dropbox and we can grab the link and we can share that. There's 100 ways you can use press releases. It's just the PLR, but it's interesting. Okay, any more questions?
Yes, we have numerous questions here.
Okay, well.
Len Ferrara is asking, is there a tool that creates social profiles to be used with IFTTT?
Social profiles to be used with IFTTT. IFTTT Backlink Commando has an account creator that fills in the profiles. It creates profiles randomly. If you mean to go and create real social profiles, then you're better just to get someone on somewhere like Odesk to do that, because if you want to do that, then you want to do it nicely, you want to do it properly. As far as creating accounts, that's what IFTTT Backlink Commando does. But since we did the launch with 2,500 people buying that particular software, there's 2,500 people bought the front-end version of that software. You know, we found that Tumblr has started to put some kind of bot detection in there. Twitter has started to do telephone verification requests Okay, so if you've got 2,500 people operating hundreds of accounts on all of these sites, you can imagine there's been a little bit of a backlash. We're trying to figure out some ways around things like the Twitter one. The Tumblr one I'm not worried about, because at the end of the day we should be using high PR tumblers, and we can get them for like $2 or $4 or something like that. So those we really should be doing ourselves anyway. But for the social profiles, you will find in there that we've got some Web 2.0 sites that could be used for that purpose, but at the same time we don't do things like Facebook. We just can't. There's just no way to create Facebook accounts in bulk. I would get someone Odesk or Fiverr. You could probably find somebody that will do social profiles on Fiverr.
With the press release subscriptions, I understand that 50 credits can accumulate. What happens to unused press release credits if I pause my subscription to catch up? If you cancel your subscription, then you lose all your credits. That's just the way it is. Most press release services, your credits expire at the end of the month, and we're doing very well just to keep them live for you for a period of time until you have a total of 50, because we still have to pay for them. We pay every month for the credits that we get from the distribution networks that we're using, and so we're just passing that charge on to you. And if you were to stop your subscription, then that would make the whole house of cards fall. We're charging such budget prices, we can't afford to do that. We're not charging $300 a month or $300 per press release like a lot of companies are. So with our budget prices, we can't do that. If you cancel your subscription, then you will lose your credits.
We've got 50 credits, so if you've got a 5-pack that you're paying every month, $37 for example, you got a 5-pack. Even if you don't write a press release for 10 months, you've still got 50 in credit then. Okay, if you got the 20-pack for, I think, was $197 for 20, then you've got 2.5 months to use those up. But you wouldn't buy a 20 unless you were planning to use it, I would imagine. Most people would take the 5 if they're not sure how quickly they can get to use them. But, you know, it's not that hard to write the press releases. And we gave you really good tools to help you to do that as well. But to do it nicely, not the sort of canned press releases that, you know, they're kind of useless, those ones. We actually gave you tools that you can go and optimize properly. You got an article optimization command that we give out with mass media membership. Okay.
Once you get into the knack of writing them, it doesn't take very long. It's like writing a letter, and the minimum requirement for mass media SEO is 300 words. You can do that in 15 minutes really easily.
Okay, let's see if I can grab this.
Okay, you're going to post this webinar on your blog, Tony?
Yeah, this one will be on the blog. Sometimes I don't put them on the blog if I wasn't happy with the webinar at the end. I've been kind of sketchy for the last month because I quit smoking. My head has been kind of floating. Then now I'm kind of coming back to normal now, thankfully. Can start doing things nicely again. Here we go. There's a link to this Dropbox. This is 100 press release strategies. It's a PLR, okay, I downloaded last night. And basically it tells you times when you can do press releases or events, that kind of thing, just to give you ideas for what you can do with press releases. But don't forget, you got this at such a great price. You can resell these, easily resell these. I would be tempted to go and advertise in Craigslist and places like that. You know, just for people that want to do this. When I had a recruitment company, and I can remember it was around about 2007, I paid $750 for a press release. $750, which is crazy money, but I didn't know any better at that time. Really had no idea. I thought that's what people paid. Now what you can do is you can say to them that you will create a video, you will give them a press release, it will get distributed to 150 odd sites minimum, okay, that you got all this additional SEO and traffic stuff being built in. You know, even just by saying that you'll do a video for them, it immediately puts more value on it, which you can even just go over to Fiverr.com and get those done. And don't forget, half of the people that you'll be selling to, in fact, about 99% of the people you'll be selling to have never heard of Fiverr.com. They don't know anything about this stuff. Absolutely nothing.
Okay, Mark Peters is wanting to clarify, just to ask, with a press release, should you create a blog post in your site, which would be a summary of the press release?
Yeah, I would, or a landing page. If you're going to do a landing, if you're not going to do a landing page, then I would do a summary blog post. just to get those referral links coming into to the site. But if you're going to do a press release, it's usually to tell them there's an event or something like that. So you're going to do a summary of that if it's a news story, yeah? Or if you wanted to send them to a landing page, then just there's some great plugins now. We've got, plugins like InstaBuilder and what was the one Sean did? WP Profits plugin or something like that. Sean Donahoe did. That was a very, very good plugin. There's all these really great tools that you've got instant access to. And the tools we got today is unbelievable. Even compared to 1 year ago, we've got some incredible tools available today that are not expensive.
It looks like we pretty much covered all the questions, Tony.
Okay, yeah. I think, it's about time now. All right, guys. Well, I hope you got some benefit from this. And if you are using mass media SEO, then please try and think about reselling, because I think it's an easy way, not just for you to pull your money back that you're spending, but for you to go and make a profit. That's why we're doing this stuff. This is why we do SEO. It's to get traffic so that we can make money. And, that's what we're doing it for. Just try them. Just get adverts in Craigslist or wherever, or get someone else who's maybe better at selling or more upfront to do that kind of thing for you and give them a commission. See if you can make it work for yourself and make some good additional cash with this kind of stuff. It's all been done for you. At the end of the day, we're going to be doing all that stuff for you with mass media. And it's a fantastic service. Okay. Thanks, Robert, and thank you, guys. Thanks for attending.
How long are we running the special offer?
We're going to keep it, give him another week or so. Give it another week or so. Yeah, it should be okay.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Thanks. Good night.